Thank you very much, Richard and Gary. We really appreciate your leadership of this new group. I got to tell my Pinkle story, which is just before the season started, while we were completely undefeated. I went over and met Gary and the other coaches and spent about 30 minutes with them. And I talked with Coach Pinkle ahead of time. My area is choral music, as many of you know. His area is not. And so we talked a bit about it, and I said, you know, as a conductor, I've always said you do in performance what you've done in rehearsal. If you didn't do it in rehearsal, it's not going to occur in performance. And he said, you and I are going to get along real good. Because he believes if you don't do it in practice, it's not going to happen in a game. And so we agreed on that. And the next thing we agreed on was I would not be calling any plays for the team at all. And they did very well. But good morning to all of you again. Welcome to what is the inaugural breakfast. As you know, the morning after the inaugural reception, and all of you did well and got here this morning. We're very pleased about that. I want to recognize that we're coming together in a real spirit, I hope, of togetherness, devotion to, and belief in this great university, the University of Missouri. Through the activities of Missouri 100, we can advise the President as your university plays a vital role in shaping Missouri's future. And your support is critical if we're going to accomplish the initiatives we're going to be discussing this morning. In higher education, we develop human capital. At the University of Missouri, we've been developing human capital since almost statehood, since 1839 to be precise. There are many notable events in 1839. It's the year that William Otis patented the steam shovel, which literally moved mountains to build such wonders as Panama Canal and the Hoover Dam. In that 1839 year, Charles Goodyear vulcanized rubber. That achievement and a few others eventually helped us get to this hotel quickly in something other than a horse and buggy. 1839 was also the birth of French painter Paul Cézanne, oil baron John D. Rockefeller, and Army General George Armstrong Custer, whose departure from the scene also remains widely heralded. There were cultural peaks and valleys in 1839. That November, an audience in Milan heard the first opera by Giuseppe Verdi. The year went from highbrow to lowbrow. Here in America, the first recorded use of the term okay appeared in a Boston newspaper. Okay was supposed to have been an abbreviation for all correct. All was misspelled with an O. Correct was misspelled with a K, until it came out okay. Now, if you can imagine it then spelled correctly, we'd be saying, is everything AC with you? I said, oh yeah, it's AC with me. It doesn't somehow have the same ring. Now remember, there'll be a test later on 1839. Close to home, it brought a Missouri milestone in America's expansion. Thomas Jefferson's Louisiana Purchase, the University of Missouri was established as the first public university west of the Mississippi River. The new university symbolizes America's spirit of discovery and President Jefferson's commitment to public education. In 2007, we still embrace and nurture and live that spirit of discovery and that commitment to education. We do this by serving as Missouri's vital land-grant research institution with campuses in Columbia, Kansas City, Rolla, and St. Louis. I use the word vital, not just to convey our energy level, which is high, but the nature of our work, which is critical. We're vital because the University of Missouri educates more students with more faculty across more disciplines than any state-supported institution in Missouri. The university is vital because we fulfill 4 special missions: teaching, research, service, and economic development. For example, the university offers doctoral and professional programs on all 4 campuses. In addition to teaching and research, these specialized programs provide students and our institution with opportunities for service. We have a statewide extension mission, and we have a statewide impact to the University of Missouri healthcare. Our agricultural farms and research centers are mainstays of rural Missouri. All of these activities combine teaching, research, and service, and together they develop human capital, which fuels our state's economic development. The University of Missouri builds human capital by creating and disseminating knowledge. The creation of knowledge means the outcome of basic research, as well as highly specialized research by our renowned scholars. At the University of Missouri, these scholars are recognized in many fields, from medicine to engineering, journalism to dentistry, optometry to agriculture, music to veterinary medicine, from law to life sciences, and many others. Knowledge, old and new, is disseminated through the classroom, in the laboratory, through a university extension, in musical and dramatic performances and artistic displays, and through public discourse, enriched by the active participation of our students, graduates, and faculty members. All of you understand very well the importance of compounding interest as you build up capital in your business and in personal accounts. The same principle applies to higher education. Higher education compounds the value of our human capital. College graduates will become society's leaders. They will communicate more effectively. They will stimulate us with art, writing, and teaching. They will stand alongside us as citizens, neighbors, and taxpayers. And they add to and enrich Missouri's human capital. Our faculty members work to disseminate so many kinds of knowledge in so many different ways. They teach the timeless classics. I again note the art of Monsieur Cezanne and the music of Signora Verdi. They tell students about the innovations of Mr. Goodyear and Mr. Otis and generations of innovators who have moved society ahead. Indeed, our faculty members stand on the shoulders of giants as they teach. And there is new knowledge coming from our laboratories and scholars, working with associated experts around the world. This new knowledge yields innovations, which yields patents, which leads to commercial development, which builds our Missouri economy. In all of these settings, our faculty members are an asset, which we take justifiable pride in, which other students, by the way, envy and would like to take away. Our faculty members are being constantly recruited by competing institutions with lucrative offers. We must strengthen the university's ability to retain and recruit the very best faculty members. We have a plan to improve faculty compensation. It's a critical step in preserving our ability to build human capital, and we'll explain that more later this morning. As we build human capital, the university is responsible for meeting human needs. Many counties in this state are underserved by healthcare professionals. This affects our quality of life. Missouri is aging. In fact, the number of Missourians aged 65 and older is predicted to increase 44% by the year 2020. I know 2020 sounds like it's a long way away. It's about 12 years. That's a tremendous increase. They are going to need health care. The situation also gets worse because at the same time, many health professionals are retiring. With current funding, our public higher education institutions are simply unable to educate enough professionals to keep up with this rising demand. Our public institutions of higher education understand that building human capital means meeting human needs. That's why this university has taken a lead in a statewide initiative uniting all public 4-year and 2-year institutions. The initiative is called Preparing to Care. With full funding, we are committed to boost annual graduating class sizes by an average of 20%. This will add hundreds of additional health professionals each year. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that preparing to care is a strategic investment in human capital. Several years ago, Missouri leaders had to make some painful budget choices. State funding for higher education was sharply reduced. But now our state is getting back on track in support of developing human capital through higher education. Missouri is in the first year of a 3-year plan to boost state funding of public higher education by 4.2% annually. And this year's Lewis and Clark Discovery Initiative is paying for some much-needed campus building projects. Following up on these positive developments, the university is proposing further strategic investment with our faculty compensation plan and preparing to care. Now, we all know there isn't a bottomless bucket of money in Jefferson City. Our state leaders have difficult budgeting choices, as they always do. They must weigh priorities and balance them against available funds and the most urgent needs. But we believe the needs we would address are pressing and well documented. And other states, including our neighbors, are ahead of us in renewed support for higher education. So Missourians must consider improvements in higher education as an investment by Missourians in Missouri. Our initiatives have statewide reach with hometown impact. So today I'm asking you as members of the inaugural class of Missouri 100 to join us in supporting these initiatives. And we will be calling on you to help us tell others about the impact of these initiatives and of your university on Missouri's future. This morning you'll be treated to a variety of multimedia presentations. I'm proud to note that all of these very professional presentations were created in-house by University of Communications and the Cooperative Media Work. University of Communications and the Cooperative Media Group also work hard every day to tell the university's positive stories throughout all media, and they're an asset to our university. I also wanted to share a bit of news that I shared last night, and I'll mention it briefly, and that's the hiring of Dr. Mike Nichols to serve as our new Vice President for Research and Economic Development. And if you haven't seen him, Mike, raise your hand wherever you are. He's in the back, standing, and we welcome him. I think he's going to bring a set of experiences and a base of knowledge and skills that will be very important to us. And now to our program. I'm pleased to recognize the leader of our next discussion, focusing on the university's role in Missouri healthcare. Jim Ross is our CEO at the University of Missouri Healthcare. He's a highly respected ambassador from our university to peer groups and healthcare organizations. Jim has a lot of experience in managing healthcare systems and delivery, and his record at the university is outstanding. You'll be hearing from Jim in our panel in a few moments, but let me say one word about Jim, Steve Graham, and Chris Hagelin before I go on. When we started to put together our statewide initiative for health care, preparing to care, I turned to Jim Ross to chair it. He turned to Steve Graham to be in it, and Steve Graham turned to Chris Hagelin, Associate Dean in Health Professions. Jim and Chris are here. Steve is representing us today at the Nostalgic meeting in New York. Those people have done a tremendous job working with every four-year institution and every community college in the state to put this program to director. So I introduced Jim, but first you'll see a very short video that will precede his presentation.